Not gonna lie, not feeling the best this morning.
Hey guys, my name is Jashan. Welcome to another episode of Show and Tell. In today's episode, we're going into part 2 of our Vegas trip that we did back in 2020. I put out part 1 last week, so if you missed that, feel free to jump back and watch that episode first. A massive shout out to Mike Snedguy and the Westgate Hotel. Going back through the footage, it was quite a trip, and the place we got to stay at was probably, but hopefully not, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, which was the Elvis Suite at the Westgate Hotel.
Welcome back home.
We're in Vegas, baby. Have a look at the size of this place. The room just doesn't stop. Have a look here.
The place itself was crazily insane. Like, we had 3 butlers that were on rotation 24/7, so no matter what time it was, we could get whatever we wanted whenever we wanted.
Oh, look at this. Remember, the more that you drink, the better the music sounds.
Which in Vegas is amazing, but it's also very dangerous at the same time.
I don't know. They have mimosas too. He feeds them to me. I get out of bed and he's like, mimosa, sir? I'm like, probably.
So the drinks just kept flowing. The food was just constantly being made. On the first night, we went out to dinner with one of Jackson's friends that lives in Vegas. His name's Tiga, and if you watch David Dobrik's vlogs, you might have seen his face before. This is him chucking down $10,000 on black in one of David's videos.
Black, baby.
Anyway, we met up for dinner with him, and obviously the drinks kept flowing, which turned into a bit of a rowdy night, and he was a lot of fun, so we convinced him to stay with us for the weekend.
I don't feel good. I feel great.
So it was kind of good to have him there, where he knew everything that we needed to know about Vegas. Night 1 in Vegas was not a good time for Shammi on that first night. After dinner and a bunch of drinks, we went into Caesar's Palace, and Shammi was pretty keen for a bit of a gamble and to try and win something big. So we went to an ATM. He took out a good chunk of cash, and we headed over to the tables, and 5 minutes later, once we're at the tables, he goes to pull out his money and realizes it's not in his pocket. And after us all searching our pockets in case someone else grabbed it, we realized that Shammi didn't even take the cash out of the ATM. So safe to say, Shammi lost pretty big in Vegas before he even went to a single table. After being pissed off about the situation for a little bit, we just decided to get on the drinks and have a good night. And obviously being in Vegas, you can't really take your big camera into any of the casinos or anything. So we were basically just filming a whole heap of stuff on Sham's phone. And unfortunately, none of us are ever going to be able to see that footage because Shammi also lost his phone that night. We woke up the next morning, his phone was nowhere to be seen.
Last night turned into a massive night. I bloody lost my phone.
And that was that. His phone was lost and we had no way to find it. We tried to use the Find My iPhone and all of that, but it wasn't turned on his phone. So we called every place that we'd been to try track it down and see if it had been handed in. But of course it hadn't been. So probably our biggest night in Vegas. There's not really anything to show for it apart from some of the other random bits of footage that were on other phones. I do remember that night. It was getting quite late. It was just me, Shammi, and Jaydens left.
We out here in Las Vegas.
We out here, y'all. We in Las Vegas.
Y'all know what the fuck going on. Me and my niggas going nuts.
Niggas don't even know you.
We were outside Planet Hollywood and we were looking for a club to go to. I can't remember what time it was, but it was obviously late because all the clubs were pretty much winding down and closing. And we were all just like, fuck, I thought Vegas was like 24/7, but we got talking to this guy out front. And of course he happened to be one of these salespeople, I guess you call it. And he's like, yeah, I know a good club you can go to. It's just down the strip a little bit. I'm a limo driver and I can take you there. It'll be a package deal to get into the place as well as a limo ride. And he points down the street at this limo that was parked on the side of the road. And he also said he would drop us back at the hotel afterwards. And we were just like, fuck it, there's nothing else going for us right now, so we may as well put our faith in this guy. He told us just to wait in the pickup area and he'll go grab the car and pick us up. So we went there and all of a sudden this really old, like 1990 limo rocks up with him in it. We're just like, that's not quite the limo that was down on the street. But he jumps out, opens the door for us, and we're just like, well, it is what it is. Let's go. So we jumped in. Next minute, we're on the road. But about 100 meters down the strip, we turned off of the strip and then continued driving like 10 minutes away. At this point, we started wigging out a bit. We probably watched one too many movies about these sort of situations. He pulls up at this dodgy old strip club. It literally felt like the middle of nowhere. There was just like heaps of darkness around and then this one building lit up with lights on it. So we jump out of the limo heads off, and we're just like, well, we're going inside now. I reckon we would have been there for less than half an hour. We had a couple of drinks, and then we were just like, let's just go back to the hotel. The place had a weird vibe, and the location was just really weird. So we went back outside. We couldn't get a hold of him. Shammi didn't even have his phone, and we were basically stuck out there. Soon enough, we gave up on our limo driver and just got a cab back to our hotel. And yeah, that was basically our first night in Vegas. The next night, we decided to stick around in the penthouse a bit more, and we ended up having a bit of a party party there. A bunch of Tiga's friends came around and people were sort of in and out the whole time. And it was this night that I learned about a website, probably in a bit more of an awkward way than others, but this was the night that I learned about a website called OnlyFans. But before we talk about that, I'd like to thank the sponsor for this video, Squarespace. If you're looking to build and create your own membership website, or any website for that matter, then Squarespace is the place for you. Squarespace takes all the hassle out of creating your website by providing a whole heap of templates that you can apply your content to and create a modern looking website within seconds. All right, maybe not seconds, maybe hours. The point is, you're gonna have it done quickly. No matter what you need a website for, they more than likely have a template that suits you perfectly. They even have a new feature, which is a video maker, where you can create your website videos online on Squarespace itself. So if you're not a videographer or anything like that, then you can now do it on Squarespace on their easy to use platform. There's a whole lot of extensions where you can link up your emails, you can link up your existing payment gateways, and basically take out all the time and high costs that you would spend on creating a website elsewhere. So if you're interested, check out the link in description. Use code Jashan at checkout and you're going to get 10% off any plan. Thank you, Squarespace, for once again sponsoring this channel and continuously making my life easier when it comes to running my websites. Back to the video. This was the night that I learned about a website called OnlyFans. I went out to the pool area at one stage and was quickly confronted by this girl who was going down on this dude while he was sitting on the side of the pool. And I was just like, shit, sorry, and went to turn around and they were just like, oh, no, it's sweet, you don't have to go. And I was just like, all right, sweet. So I jumped in the pool, did a few laps while they did what they did on the side of the pool. Okay, that last part's definitely made up. I did go back inside. But then like 10 minutes later, we see them just walking through the place naked, heading to one of the bathrooms, and then proceeded to go at it in a shower before then moving on to another room and pretty much just doing it all over the whole place. And I was just like, what is going on here? Anyway, later that night, I got talking to the guy and I was asking what he does, and he told me he does OnlyFans, and I was just like, what the hell is OnlyFans? Not gonna lie, I've always been a little bit curious to jump on there, see if that video is up with me awkwardly walking in on the background of their scene. I haven't checked yet, don't think I ever will. $25. You're taking the piss, aren't you? Anyway, that's some of the stories of our Vegas trip. I feel like it came and went very fast, and I'm stoked that we got to do that trip because as soon as we landed back in Australia, pretty much the pandemic started and everywhere was getting locked down. So this was the last time we all got to go overseas. That's it for today's episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, all I ask is that you like the video and leave a comment below. It really does help in the algorithm to help boost these videos. If you have any requests of videos you would like to hear some of the stories behind, then make sure to leave them in the comments below and I'll get through as many of them as I possibly can. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Would you like a mimosa, sir?
Oh, this is exactly why this room is extremely dangerous. You wake up out of bed and he's serving up cocktails already.
Ready to go. Oh my.
Nice and fresh for you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure.
I think. Oh.
It'd be rude not to in Vegas, right?